I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous about posting this video. Being vulnerable is not something that comes to me naturally. In this channel, I usually talk about design, but this video won't be design related. If you're not interested in my story, feel free to skip this video. So you might think that this is my very first YouTube channel, but that's actually not true. I already had 5 other YouTube channels. So I started YouTubing in 2008. That's been like it was 13 years ago. We were making videos about our dog Mango that you might have seen in my previous videos. Then I started making videos about food and I stopped that. And I had a YouTube channel about fitness because I was into bodybuilding at that time and I was doing my personal trainer certificate. So I wanted to create a channel about that. And then I had another design channel where I was creating tutorials. And then I had a drawing channel, not really good quality. And then I started my Sketchnote YouTube channel. It's a no-face YouTube channel, so I only show my sketch notes. So altogether, with all of these channels, I had about 200 subscribers. Not like it matters actually, because you should do these things for fun, just for yourself. If other people enjoy your videos, then that's just great. So that's a little bit of background regarding YouTube. Before I started YouTube, I was actually a blogger. I've been blogging online for over 20 years now. I've been writing since I could write. I have seven unpublished books. Yeah. I wrote them as a teenager. I remember being locked up in my room for hours and days and weeks and just scribbling away. Yeah, that was my summer, basically. I wanted to be a journalist at some point in my life. I grew up in a tiny village in Eastern Europe and I also spent a lot of time in a farm. And I just had a very small circle of people and activities, and we call that life. But you can have as many lives as many books you read. I found books magical. I love to read. I love to write. I always express my thoughts better in writing. In my late 20s, we moved into an English speaking country. That was Ireland. And that's where I learned English. And that's where I learned design as well. It brought a lot of challenges to me, and it took me a while to express my feelings and thoughts in English in a way that I really wanted to. So there was an article that I wrote 7 years ago, probably with not that proper grammar. So I wrote an article about my burnout and how I felt, and it resonated with a lot of people. A crazy thing happened. So one day I just woke up to hundreds, I'm not kidding, hundreds of notifications on my phone. Somebody posted my article on Reddit and on Hacker News and on Twitter, so it just went viral. That one single post got over 20,000 visits one night, just one night. And you know how it is. Like mostly I got a lot of positive comments because it was true. My heart was into that article, but because it attracted thousands of viewers, I received some negative comments as well. So some people were just not that kind, and they judged me. They judged the level of English I had at that time, and it made me self-conscious. And you know, judging someone who clearly tries to speak a foreign language, so those people clearly never ever struggled with a foreign language, or otherwise they would have had empathy. Why are we so quick to judge? I think some people forget that not everybody has the privilege to learn English in their childhood. I certainly didn't have that privilege. So anyway, I stopped writing. But then A few years went by and I started making videos. That's where we pick up the YouTube experience. And again, it got a lot of good feedback as well. But then some people were just not that nice. I just started a new job and I couldn't find the time and the energy for my creative pursuits. In a hindsight, it was probably just an excuse that I made up, even if you're like a one-woman band like me. So creating a video takes about 10 to 15 hours. I could have found an hour here and there to create YouTube videos. So instead of 4 videos, I could have made 2 videos in a month. But I didn't. I stopped making them. We can always find time for things that are important to us. But in the last 2 years, I started my Sketchnote YouTube channel, which I mentioned. It's a no-face channel. So nobody judges me for my accent or my English. I just learned regularity because I kept making videos every single day in the last 18 months. I know I can do this. Obviously, a Sketchnote video doesn't require that much of an effort. These kind of videos, they definitely take longer to make. But in the last 2 years, I kept thinking about YouTube and a design channel, and I cannot give up on something that I keep thinking about every single day since I stopped creating those kind of videos. I want to create videos that I would have liked to watch when I started out as a designer. So this is my goal with this channel. You know what? There was a time when I really wanted to get rid of my accent. I had 2 accent coaches, one from the States and one from Germany, which is kind of odd, but anyway, she had a North American accent that I was aiming for at that time. I bought books and courses and I practiced so much, like so much in the last 2 years. But now, I don't want to get rid of my accent. It is unique to me. I don't want to blend in. And just because I am a Kiwi now, this is where I'm from. It's my culture. It is part of me. It is part of who I am. So now I am back to YouTube. I actually have a plan and I am 2 months ahead with my video production line. Today is Sunday, 20th of June. When this video will air, it will be probably August. I didn't do this way in the past with my previous design channel, so I didn't have videos backed up in my YouTube vault. But now I do. I have a spreadsheet, I have a plan, so I know what I'm doing next week. I manage all of my topics and all of my playlists, what I would like to create, and I also have a template. I come up with potential titles and hashtags and descriptions and what I would like to talk about. I am more prepared. I feel that I am more prepared. And the other reason why I came back is just to show that there are other designers out there who are not native speakers. It's a really interesting industry that I'm in. When you look at YouTube, how many male and how many female design YouTubers are out there, that's just not really representative of the industry that we're in. There is only a small number of female YouTubers out there, let alone the female design YouTubers who are not native English speakers. To me, it's kind of mind-blowing because I know so many designers who are not native speakers, but they just don't start a YouTube channel. I don't know what's the reason. Why not? I want to show that to people that yes, you can. And this industry is not just for native speakers. Yes, you need to have a really good level of English because this job is semi-technical. So you gotta have a great level of English. Otherwise, you just cannot reach your full potential in the industry. So why I came back? I have one word for it, and it's courage. I have courage. It's scary. It's scary to show up. But it's not as terrifying as living your life, and at the end of your life, you're thinking, what if you would have shown up? What would have been different in your life? What if you would have worked towards your dreams? What if you would have taken the first step towards someone you really liked? What if? It's scary to put yourself out there. It's kind of like walking naked in front of other people. But I feel I have no other choice. I need to do this. I need to create. This is who I want to be. And yes, rejections and failures hurt like nothing else. If you have ever been rejected, you know what I'm talking about. You can feel a physical pain in your chest. It's so painful. But I'd rather have the pain instead of having a lukewarm life where I wonder what if. Because if I show up, I know I did try. I made the first step. And I did everything towards becoming the person I could possibly be in this life. I did my best. And whether I succeed or not, it's irrelevant. Courage is my value. And you know what? I haven't been this excited about anything for a long time. I am so excited about my YouTube channel and working on it and making videos, creating videos for young designers and people who are interested in that kind of topic. You know, I guess at this age, I just stopped caring. It's liberating. You should try. I think I'm pretty self-aware, and I know I could have acted differently in the past, you know, when I received those comments. But nevertheless, I am here now. I am still scared. So much. I'm scared to be judged again, because I'm sure people will judge me for something that I do or I don't do. But now I accept the risk of being judged. Because if I create, if I show up, I invite people into my space. People will give me feedback. It doesn't matter whether I ask for it or not. But if the feedback is constructive, yeah, I am interested. But if it's not, if the feedback gets personal like in the past, I am not interested at all. And I gotta filter that feedback out. Personally, I would rather have hundreds of rejections and failures in life instead of just wondering, what if I would have shown up? What if I would have been seen? It's still frightening. It's scary. It's scary big. But I'm doing it anyways. Because I'm not going to be silenced anymore. Do you hear those voices that tell you you're not good enough and nobody wants to hear your story and nobody wants to read those articles? Well, I had those voices, but they need to be silenced. We all need to believe that we are enough, because if we don't, we'll be dragged through this life like a screaming child that is dragged along the floor by a parent in the grocery store. Did you get the image? Because if we believe that we are enough, that's when we stop screaming. We'll be coming from a place of peace. We are kinder to ourselves and to people around us. And the critics? Well, they are certainly there. They got the first row. But their negativity will never get to you. It took me a while to see who I am, who I really am, and embrace it. We all are infinitely unique, valuable creatures. We are unlike any other human being who ever lived or who ever will live. My experience is unique, and nobody can tell the stories in a way I can tell them. So, if you're still here with me, watching, listening, thank you so much. It means the world to me. I would encourage you to do something that scares you. You never know what might happen. Just do it afraid.